Hey, welcome back. So in first video what we saw how to install Python and PyCharm on our laptop. Then we wrote our first program in Python and we saw how to debug it. Now what we are going to talk about is how to install Selenium module for Python so that we can write scripts which interact with the browser. So this is the link of Selenium website. So let's click that, and while it is opening, let's talk about a command that we can use without even going to the site. We can use a command to install Selenium. So the command is pip install -u, and I think it's capital U, and it will be Selenium. So that's the command to run on command prompt, and pip is something that is installed along with the Python. So if I launch a command prompt and I say where pip, it will show where pip.exe resides. So it's there in Python script pip. So what we will do now is we will say pip install -u. -u is for upgrade, and this is Selenium, and we hit enter, and we will see it will magically find all the required packages to be installed. So latest version of Selenium is 2.46, so it's getting that for us, and it says it successfully installed Selenium 2.46.0. So now we have Selenium installed. So let's try to write our first script, and we'll see what this script will do. In this script we want to launch Firefox browser, and after launching Firefox browser we want to go to http google.com, and then we will wait here for the time being. So that is what is our first script that we want to write. So let's open our PyCharm, and we say create new project, and here we name our project as swp Selenium with Python 2, and we say create. So it's setting up the files for us. While it is setting up the files, let's discuss what Selenium commands are going to be. So in Python we don't need to declare a variable. We can directly, this is a dynamic language, we can directly write the name of the variable that we want to use whenever we are writing our scripts. So since it has created a project for us, let's right click and directly add a Python file here. So file, and we go to new, and we say new Python file, and let's name it as launch Firefox, and go to save it. So that is our Python file name. We say OK, and here what we want to do is we first want to get the driver object. So we will say driver equals webdriver. So let's do a control space so that it can suggest auto completion for us. So we say okay, it should be actually selenium.webdriver, or rather it should be webdriver.Firefox. That is what we want. Once we do that, it says it is unresolved reference. So what we need to do, we need to write on top it should be from Selenium import webdriver, and once we get the webdriver, we are going to say webdriver dot. Now it should be autocomplete. I think the Firefox is capital one, so we can say Firefox. So that is what we need to create, and it's a function, so we get a webdriver. After we get the driver, what we need to do is, so this driver can be treated as a browser, so we need to do driver dot, there is a get command in it, so we can say get, and in get we can specify the URL that we want to browse to. So we say http www.google.com. So these two commands, what they will do, let's try to write comments here. So hash is a symbol for writing a comment in Python. So here we say this will launch Firefox browser and this will open google.com in browser. So that is what this code is going to do. So after we have written the code, let's set a breakpoint and try to understand the code step by step. So we have set up the breakpoint. Let's right click our file and we say debug. So as we can see, the control is at this line and we can see this line is highlighted. So now we need to go step by step. So we know the keyboard shortcut is F8, or we can follow this key step over. So let's press that key, and now the first command, which is webdriver.Firefox, is going to run, and in a short while we will see, because this is internally Selenium is actually searching for the Firefox browser. It found the exe and it launched the Firefox browser, and after it launches, this command comes out and our control is on next line. As you can see, the next line is highlighted. So now again, when we want to execute this line, we have to press F8, and F8 it asks browser to go to google.com, and after that again we go into executable file. So let's continue and resume from here. So this is not something that we need. So our script execution has been completed. Now ideally, whenever we run our test cases, we would want the script to run and we would want to close the browser on our own. So we would say driver.quit, and that will be a complete first script where we are launching the browser, then we are opening a website, and then we are quitting the browsers. So this time let's give it a run without doing debug. So we can directly go and say run this file. And we see the browser opens up, it takes it to google.com and it closes the browser. So that is our first Selenium script. So let's summarize what we have learned. So basically we saw how to install Selenium module for Python, and we used a pip command for installing that or upgrading that. Then we wrote our first script where we launched a browser, we went to the google.com, and then what we did, we were closing the browser, so we quit the browser. So that is our first program and we are done.